March 14th, 2025. Shake Your Shamrock. Cara and Gionni are hosting a St. Patrick's Day party with a game night, a gold toss game, beer pong, and bingo. She is planning on serving Irish food and cocktails, all whilst listening to traditional Irish music. She invites their entire friend group and their partners. Don, Cesar, Michelle and Jorge, Liz and Michael, Tanya and Nicole, Rebecca and Marnie by phone, Susan, Hillary, Carol and Tom, Carla and Brad, Craig and Maria, and Pete and Richard. She also invites Cris to join them. Cara assumes that she has no Irish friends in their group. However, when Rebecca offers to help with the party, she opens up about her culture and how she's never really celebrated the holiday before, being that her family isn't that big. Cara is wearing a long green sparkly dress with yellow heels, perfect for the holiday. Cara starts making the phone calls around the house. Her long brown hair is tossed into a quick bun and her phone is on speaker. Gionni, meanwhile, is decorating around the house. He moves around like a tornado, changing around everything in sight. First call made, Susan and Hillary are coming. Cara calls out to Gionni. He gives her a thumbs up from across the room. Cara looks down at her list of guests, dialing the next number on her cell phone. Cara dials the number and waits for the phone to pick up. Hey Liz, it's Cara. Gionni and I are hosting a St. Patrick's Day party tonight. We were wondering if you and Michael would like to come? Hey, that sounds like so much fun. We'll be there. What time do you want us to come over? Liz asked. Between 4 and 5 p.m. would be great, Cara says, checking Liz off the guest list. All right, we'll see you at 4 p.m., Liz says. Cara hangs up the phone and moves on to their next guests, Tanya and Nicole. Next call, Cara says, as Gionni runs around the room, holding green streamers. She dials Tanya's number, waiting for the phone to pick up. Hey, Cara, what's up? Tanya answers the phone. Hey, we're hosting a St. Patrick's Day party for the holiday, and we would love for you and Nicole to join us tonight. You may arrive between 4 and 5 p.m., Cara says. We would love to be there. That sounds like so much fun. We'll see you at 4 p.m., Cara, Tanya says. Great, see you then, Cara says with a wide smile and hangs up the phone. Next, she dials up Michelle's number, hoping to invite her and Jorge. Hey, Michelle says, picking up the phone at rapid speed. Hey, I'm hosting a St. Patrick's Day party tonight, and I would love for you and Jorge to join us. Are you interested? Cara asked. Yes, we'd love to join. What time should I show up? Michelle asked. Between 4 and 5 o'clock should be perfect, Cara nods. All right, we'll be there. See you soon, Cara, Michelle says and hangs up the phone. As her phone rang, connecting to Don Cesar, his deep voice answered.
Hey, it's Don Cesar.
Hi, Don, it's Cara. I was wondering if you'd like to come to my St. Patrick's Day party tonight. I'd really like to have you there. Are you able to make it? She asked, smiling.
Hey, Cara, thanks for the invite. I'll definitely be there. It sounds like fun. Should I bring anything? He asked.
No, I'll sit here, thanks. Just bring yourself. I'm glad you're coming. Just make sure to be here between 4 and 5 p.m., she tells him.
Don smirks. It's going to be a fun night. See you soon, Cara.
Cara hung up the phone, eagerly anticipating the Irish party. Next on the list was Carol and Tom. Hi, Carol. It's Cara. How are you today? She says. Hey, good. What's up? She asked. I'm calling to invite you to my St. Patrick's Day party at my house tonight. Please make sure to show up no later than 5 o'clock. Wear shades of green. Are you able to make it? She asked, enthusiastically. Of course. I'd love to come. I'll bring my husband too, if that's okay? She asked. Yes, of course. I'll see you there, she smiles. Next on her list were her two friends, Carla and Brad. After a few rings, Carla answers the phone. Hey, it's Carla, she says. Hey, Carla, it's Cara. How are you doing, girlie? I'm doing great. What's up? Carla says. Good. I was just calling to see if you'd like to come to my St. Patrick's Day party at my house tonight. Please make sure to show up between 4 and 5 p.m. Cara says, smiling. Carla says excitedly, Yes, I'd love to come. We'll make sure to wear green and see you at 4 o'clock. Great. I can't wait to see you there, Cara says. Next on the list was Craig and Maria. Cara was feeling a little worried about extending the invite out to the two of them. After the car accident, Craig didn't exactly communicate very well with Michelle, and she didn't want the tension between the two of them to blow over at her party. She decided to confront them over the phone about the situation to make sure that it would be a drama-free night. Cara dials their home number, and after a few rings, Maria answers the phone. Faye household, she says. Hey, it's Cara. Is Craig there? Cara asked. Oh, he's in the shower at the moment. What can I do for you? Maria rolls her eyes as she answered. I'm calling to invite you to my St. Patrick's Day party tonight. Are you able to make it? Cara questions. Yes, we'd love to come. Can we bring anything? Maria says. No, we're all good. Just make sure to show up between 4 and 5 p.m. I just wanted to clear something up while I have you on the phone, Cara inquired. Sure, what's up? Maria furrowed her brows together. About Michelle's car. Did you guys end up paying for the damages? Because I really do not want drama tonight. I know she was feeling a little hurt that you weren't answering or accepting her apology. Is everything all right? Cara asked, crossing their names off the guest list. Yes, everything is fine. We met up and talked about it last week and got everything sorted out. I'm sure there will be no tension between the three of us. Michelle says she's over it and has forgiven both of us. She got her car fixed with no worries. Nothing to worry about, Cara. I promise, Maria tells her. Thank you for being honest with me. I appreciate it. I'll see you both tonight, okay? Make sure to wear green and get ready to shake your shamrock, Cara says, smiling. Okay, Cara. See you soon, Maria says and hangs up the phone. Cara takes a deep breath and dials her final guest, Rebecca. After a few rings, a voice comes through the other line of the phone. Hey, it's Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca, it's Cara. I'm calling to invite you to my St. Patrick's Day party tonight at my house. Are you able to make it? Cara inquired. St. Patrick's Day party? Count me in. I'll be there, Rebecca smiles. Cara crossed Rebecca off her list. Great, you can show up between 4 and 5 p.m. I heard you were Irish. Is that correct? Yes, I am. Cara, I'm so excited for this party. Growing up, I never really celebrated the holiday because we never had a really big family. I'm excited to be spending this day with all of you, though, Rebecca says, smiling widely. Oh, Rebecca, that's lovely to hear. I had no idea you were Irish until Liz said something to me about it. Do you think Marnie would like to come as well? Cara asked, hoping to have another guest at her party. I'm not sure if the party atmosphere would be the best thing for her right now. I can call her on FaceTime while I'm at the party so she can greet everyone and it can feel like she's there. But I don't think she would want to experience a party at the moment. Is that all right? Rebecca asked, rubbing her chin. Oh, that's totally okay. It would be nice to see her on the phone. Do you think you can come a little early, though? Since you're an Irish native, I think it would be helpful if you came to set up with me and help with preparations. If you can't, no worries. Of course, Cara. I wouldn't mind. I'll be there at 3:30 if that's okay, Rebecca says. That's perfect. Gionni is doing his best with the decorations, but I think it would be helpful to have an extra eye for placement. He's also working on traditional Irish dishes for tonight, so maybe you can give him some tips, Cara chuckled. Yeah, I'd love to. All right, I'll see you in a few hours. Should I bring anything? I think I have some special Irish culture artifacts if that'll help, Rebecca smiled excitedly. Sure, bring whatever you have. See you soon, Rebecca, Cara says and hangs up the phone. She leans back in her chair and stretches her arms. How's it going, baby? Gionni asks from across the hallway. Good, everyone's coming. Rebecca will be here at 3:30 to help set up with decorations and whatnot. I just found out she's an Irish native but never really celebrated the holiday because she's never had close girlfriends or family to celebrate with. Isn't that kind of cool? Cara smirked. Aw, hey, it'll be a special night then. Don't worry, she'll help us any way she can. Maybe she could tell us more about her culture and why she's been keeping it a secret. I'm sure the rest of the group might not know that about her, so it's pretty cool, Gionni says in surprise. Cara hums in response to her husband, but her mind is elsewhere. What kind of artifacts does Rebecca have in mind? Is she going to bring some traditional Irish instruments, or some kind of traditional outfit? The brunette shakes her head, trying to clear her mind from those questions. Cara sighs and stands up from the couch, heading towards the kitchen. It appears as though Gionni is already cooking up something. The decorations in the house are a mixture of green, gold, and red. St. Patrick's decorations have been spread throughout the room, such as shamrocks, clovers, leprechauns, and pots of gold. There are also some gold streamers and balloons that have a gold coin print on them. Some of the chairs have shamrock pattern tablecloths on them, and the table is covered with a green tablecloth. The walls are decorated with various Irish flags and tapestries. A few hours pass by, and Gionni is busy in the kitchen. Cara is setting up a centerpiece on the dining room table when the doorbell rings. She glances at the clock, and it is almost 3:30, time for Rebecca to arrive. Cara puts a couple final touches on the centerpiece and walks to the front door. She glances through the window, confirming that it is Rebecca, before opening the door. Hey, Rebecca, glad you could come, Cara greets her, standing aside and gesturing for her to come in. Rebecca is wearing a nice green forest dress. It looks traditional and very suited for the holiday. In her arms, she carries a few small bags of what Cara assumes are the artifacts that she promised to bring. Hey, Rebecca says, pulling Cara in for a brief hug. Wow, beautiful dress. You look amazing and definitely understood the assignment. We're so glad you're here, Cara says, giving Rebecca a quick peck on the cheek. Rebecca smiles. Her cheeks turn a little red. Thanks, Cara. I figured that I would be authentic and wear one of my best dresses tonight. I brought a few things that can hopefully add some cultural elements to this party. She gestures to the bags, before looking around the house at the decorations already in place. Cara leads Rebecca into the house. She shuts the door behind them. I'm sure everything you brought will be great. Is that all the traditional Irish stuff? Cara asks curiously. Rebecca nods, her eyes lighting up, clearly enthusiastic about this. Yes, all of these are things that have been in my family for generations. There's some cultural ornaments and decorations, as well as my great-grandmother's jewelry, she says, rifling through one of the bags. Curiosity piqued, Cara leans forward, peering into the bag to see what treasures Rebecca has in store. Let me see, let's see, she says under her breath, her gaze darting to every object within the bag. Rebecca and Cara walk into the dining room, and Rebecca places the bags onto the table. Rebecca takes out one of the items from the bag. It's a small wooden ornament in the shape of a claddagh, the traditional Irish charm. This claddagh was actually handmade by my great-grandmother, she explains, as she carefully places it onto the dining room table. Cara's eyes widen in awe, impressed by the significance of the ornament. That's amazing! It must be really special to you, she says, gently tracing her fingers over the intricate carving. Rebecca smiles bittersweetly, nodding in agreement. It really is. My grandmother was a very artistic woman, and she loved to make little trinkets like this. It holds a lot of sentimental value, she explains. Rebecca takes out another treasure from one of the bags. This one is a set of shamrock earrings, in the shape of a 4-leaf clover. This set of earrings is also passed down from my grandmother. She gave them to me on my 18th birthday. She says they're supposed to bring luck, she says, placing the earrings next to the claddagh ornament. Those are beautiful, Cara commented. Rebecca chuckled. I suppose it's a matter of belief. Though they haven't exactly made me win the lottery, I do feel like I'm one of the luckiest girls in the world having things like these to remember my grandmother by. Cara smiled sympathetically. I understand. It's nice to have keepsakes to remember those we've lost. Rebecca nodded in agreement, her eyes a little glossy from the mention of her grandmother. Yes, it certainly is, she says softly, before turning her attention back to the remaining bags. There's one more item that I think might be of interest. Rebecca reaches into another bag and takes out a small velvet jewelry box. She opens it to reveal a necklace with a Celtic cross pendant. This is a very important piece to my family. It belonged to one of our ancestors, who was a bishop in medieval Ireland. I'm sure you can tell why it's culturally significant. Cara's expression was awestruck, taking in the details of the necklace. It's incredible. The craftsmanship is exquisite, she says, admiring the necklace. Is there any significance to the design? Rebecca nodded. Yes, the Celtic cross is a symbol of our faith, but it also represents the blending of our cultural traditions with Christianity, which was introduced to Ireland in the 4th century. Cara nodded in fascination, carefully taking the necklace from Rebecca to examine it more closely. It's amazing how much history and traditions are tied to this one item, she said, turning the necklace over to see the backside of the pendant. I have one more thing. It's a claddagh ring, passed down to me from my great-grandmother. Rebecca pulls out the small ring from a tiny silver box. Wow, that's beautiful. Wow, that's beautiful. Do you mind if I add these to the centerpiece on the living room table? They would truly make a statement, Cara says, holding the necklace up to the light. Rebecca smiled, nodding in agreement. Of course, I think that's a wonderful idea. It would be a beautiful way to showcase these traditions in the centerpiece. Awesome! We did some decorating early this morning. Gionni put some streamers up and a nice Irish flag in the living room. We also have a photo booth in the great room filled with green and white balloons and some photo booth favors. We'll probably have our dinner once everyone gets here. I'll have to set the table, so maybe you can help me with that. I have some decorations upstairs in the linen closet that I haven't used in a few years, but I think now is the perfect time to set them up. I went to the grocery store yesterday for ingredients and picked up some green beaded necklaces for everyone to wear tonight. You're welcome to wear them, but I think your outfit screams tradition, so it may not be necessary, Cara says, holding up the beads. Rebecca smiled, amused by Cara's description of the decorations. Sounds like you've been very busy. And those beads are a great idea. I can imagine everyone looking very festive in their St. Patrick's Day outfits with those on. As for my own outfit, I must admit that I really wanted to embrace the culture and the tradition of Ireland, so I'm glad to hear that it's coming through. Cara smiled. Oh, yeah, well, you know how I am. I love to decorate and throw extravagant parties. Everything has to be perfect. I'm a natural-born perfectionist. Cara throws her hands into the air. Rebecca chuckled. You sure are. So is there anything I can do to help? Do you want me to set down a tablecloth or something? Cara nodded, grinning. You know me well, and yeah, if you don't mind, could you set up the tablecloth while I go get those decorations from upstairs? She hands Rebecca a green tablecloth decorated with little shamrocks. Rebecca nods her head and takes the tablecloth from Cara to set it down on the dining room table, arranging it neatly. As Cara heads upstairs to retrieve the decorations, Rebecca takes a moment to admire the centerpiece on the living room table, now adorned with the various artifacts she brought. Gionni grins at Rebecca standing in the living room, admiring the table. You look wonderful, by the way. Not sure if I mentioned it earlier or not. Cara and I had no idea you were Irish. Is there a reason why you've never told anyone? Gionni commented as he takes his towel off the apron. Rebecca blushes a little, fiddling with the pendant of her necklace. Thank you, Gionni. And you're right. I never mentioned it before. I guess it's just something I've never really talked about. Growing up, we never celebrated our Irish heritage too extensively, so I guess I didn't think it was important to share. I understand. Has Marnie mentioned it to anyone? Gionni asked. Rebecca shook her head. No, Marnie's never really talked about it either. I think it's just one of those things that's been kept quiet in our family. It wasn't really a big deal in our house growing up, so I guess we never really thought to bring it up, she explained. I see. Well, I'm glad you finally have the opportunity to celebrate the holiday with us. Cara is thrilled to have you here, Gionni nods. Rebecca smiles, appreciating Gianni's supportive words. I'm glad to be here too. I must admit, I'm a little bit nervous about sharing this aspect of my culture with everyone, but I'm also excited to have the chance to celebrate and connect with my roots in a meaningful way. No need to be nervous. Just be yourself, Gionni advises. Rebecca smiles, feeling a little bit more at ease. Thanks, Gionni. I appreciate your encouragement. I'll try to relax and enjoy the evening. Cara comes back downstairs holding a big bin of St. Patrick's Day decorations. All right, I got the decorations, she says, setting the box down on a chair as she takes a deep sigh. Man, that box was heavier than I thought, she chuckled. Gionni chuckled. Looks like you could use a hand there. Cara rolls her eyes dramatically. Oh, shut up. That box was stupidly heavy. Why did I pack it so full? Rebecca walks over to the dining room, joining Cara by the table. So, what do we have here? She asks curiously, peering into the decorations bin. Oh, a little bit of everything, Cara replies, taking out various table decorations and placing them around the table. Shamrocks, pots of gold, Irish flags. We got everything we need for a proper St. Patrick's Day celebration. I like these funky placemats and napkins, Rebecca chuckled. Oh, yeah, those are ancient. I've had those for years, and I've only used them once. My friend Kelly threw a party years ago, and I kept the placemats as a souvenir, Cara says, laying them out on the table. I'll have to go downstairs to get a few more chairs. Would you mind coming with me after we sit at the table? Of course, I can help with that. I don't mind at all, Rebecca says, continuing to help Cara set the table. The table is set with a green tablecloth adorned with shamrocks and is carefully arranged with silverware, glasses, and plates. Various Irish decor such as clovers, pots of gold, and tiny flags adorn the center of the table, making it look very festive. The two of them finish laying out the table decor, taking a step back to admire their work. Looks great, Cara says with a satisfied smile. After finishing up the table, Cara and Rebecca head down to the basement to retrieve 4 more chairs for the table. Here, you can take this one. We'll have to take them up one by one just because of how small this stairway is, Cara says. Rebecca nods, taking the chair from Cara's hands. All right, lead the way, she says, following Cara up the basement stairs. They grab the 2 other chairs from downstairs and head back upstairs. Cara glanced at the time, and it was 10 minutes until 4 o'clock. Time was going by slowly. Michelle and Jorge should be here soon. Cara checked her phone. Do you think we need any finishing touches for the decorations? Rebecca thought for a moment. I think everything looks good, but maybe we should add a few more Irish flags here and there. It can't hurt to go overboard during St. Patrick's Day. Cara pulls out a few more flags from the bin. We can put some up outside by the patio area. Do you think that would make a statement? Cara asked. Rebecca nodded. Yeah, I think that would definitely add some extra festive flair to the outside of the house. It'll make it really clear that we're having a St. Patrick's Day celebration. Cara chuckled as she grabbed a few more flags from the bin. I'll follow your lead. The 2 of them walked carefully outside and began to strain up the flags around the patio area. As they come back inside, Cara hears the doorbell ring. Be right back, she tells Rebecca and hurries over to the door. Cara opens the door and finds Michelle and Jorge standing in the doorway, wearing matching green outfits. Jorge was dressed in a green suit with a bright green tie, while Michelle was wearing a green striped dress with a miniskirt, a black corset on top, knee-high white socks with Mary Jane's, her hair was in Dutch braids, and she was wearing a little green headband to complete her outfit. Hey, you guys look great, Cara says in surprise, a wide smile spreading across her face. She greets them with a big hug and compliments their outfits. Hey, thank you. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Michelle smiled. Cara opens the door wide enough for the 2 of them to come inside. They walk through the hallway, into the kitchen to greet Gionni, and then into the living room to see Rebecca. Hey, Gionni, I'd like you to meet my boyfriend Jorge, Michelle says, waving to Gionni. Gionni puts the thermometer on the counter to greet Jorge. Hey, good to meet you. The 2 of them exchange a handshake. Jorge nods shyly. Good to meet you, man. Jorge follows the girls into the living room where he meets Rebecca. Wow, Rebecca, you look gorgeous. Love the Irish attire, Michelle says, giving Rebecca a peck on the cheek and a small hug. Thank you, Michelle. You know I had to go all out for the holiday, Rebecca smirks, twirling around in her long skirt. Rebecca, this is Jorge, my boyfriend, Michelle nods, introducing her boyfriend to someone else. Hey, nice to finally meet you, Jorge says, shaking her hand politely. Good to meet you, Rebecca accepts the handshake. Jorge heads back into the kitchen to hang out with Gionni as he's cooking up a storm. Gionni notices Jorge making his way back into the room and offers him a drink. Do you want something to drink? I have a few Irish beers in the fridge, he says, opening the fridge door. Jorge nods. Sure, I'll take whatever you have. Gionni cracks open a Guinness and hands it to Jorge. Enjoy, he says, smiling. Jorge takes a seat at the counter and decides to hang out with Gionni while the girls chatter in the living room. I'm just going to go out to the pool house and see if Cris wants to join us. 1 second, Cara says, stepping outside to the patio. Michelle nods her head and helps herself to a drink from the bar. She takes a seat on the couch next to Rebecca. So, is Marnie joining us tonight, or is she not feeling it? Michelle asks, sitting comfortably next to Rebecca. No, not tonight. I don't think it's the best atmosphere for her, being that she's fresh out of rehab and all. I think with a little time she could find herself getting used to partying and going out again. But I think it'll be a little while before she does any of that. I want her to feel better and not resort to drinking or smoking again, Rebecca says. You're a good sister, Rebecca. I like how you're always looking out for your sister. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I told Cara I'd give her a call on FaceTime later so she can at least see everyone and not feel left out. It would be nice to have her here, but a party is probably the last thing she wants to go to, Rebecca says. I understand. That's a good idea. I hope Marnie has a quick and safe recovery. It must be hard for you, too, with all the changes, Michelle says sympathetically. It is hard. There's just so much pressure because I feel like I'm responsible for her, and she's younger than I am. She never wants to get into any trouble. I just want to make sure she's on the right path, Rebecca says, sighing a little. And she is. She's making the right decision to get better, and that's all that matters, Michelle reassures her. Thanks. I guess I just needed to hear that. It's just been a lot lately, and I want things to get back to normal, Rebecca admits. They will. It just takes time, Michelle smiles, sipping her drink. Yeah, it does. I'm really thrilled to be here. You know, growing up, we never really celebrated our culture because our family was so small. My mother never really talked about our family history and kept everything a secret. We would go to our grandmother's house and celebrate with a cake, but that was really it. As I grew up, I learned more about the culture and more about my family's history. I brought a few of my grandmother's artifacts for everyone to look at. I think that it's very fascinating, and Cara enjoyed looking at everything, so I hope everyone else finds them interesting too, Rebecca smiled. That's amazing, Michelle smiled. Your grandmother sounds really cool. I'd love to see the artifacts. I'm sure everyone would think they were just as interesting as she does too. Rebecca picks up the centerpiece off the dining room table to show Michelle. She carefully takes out the items one by one and sets them down on the living room table. Here I have a small wooden ornament in the shape of a colada, shamrock earrings in the shape of a four-leaf clover, a necklace with a Celtic cross pendant, and a colada ring. Rebecca shows Michelle the pieces one by one. The ornament was handmade by my grandmother. The earrings were a gift from my grandmother for my 18th birthday. The necklace was passed down to me, and the ring is from my great-grandmother, Rebecca says, examining each piece closely as she shows Michelle. Wow, these are so beautiful, Michelle says, admiring each piece. I can see why you would want to bring them here. These mean a lot to you. Yep, I always thought they were beautiful, Rebecca smiles, admiring them once again. I thought it'd be really fitting to bring them with me tonight to really embrace the holiday. Well, you look really amazing tonight, Michelle says, admiring Rebecca's skirt. Everything about it. You did a great job embracing the theme tonight. Thank you so much. I thought it would be fun to dress up. I even wore some emerald green lipstick, she smiled, showing off her makeup. I love makeup, and you're looking stunning tonight. The green makes your eyes pop so much, Michelle says, admiring both Rebecca's look and her eyes. Rebecca smiles, showing her gratitude to Michelle. In the pool house, Cris is finishing up getting ready when Cara knocks on the door. Come in, Cris shouts from the bathroom. Cara opens the door and walks inside. Hey, almost ready in here? Michelle and Rebecca are waiting in the living room for the other guests. Yep, just putting on some mascara and lipstick, Cris says. Cara walks over to the bathroom doorway. Oh, you look beautiful, she compliments. Cris is wearing a light green corset with a forest green miniskirt. She has on black tights, black mini heels, and a green headband. She tied her hair up into a messy bun and applied some mascara to bring out her green eyes. Thanks, Cara, Cris smiled. She finishes her makeup and the two of them walk back into the house from the side door. Once they get back inside, Cris joins Rebecca and Michelle on the couch. Hey, you look gorgeous, Michelle compliments. Thanks, love, Cris smiled. She pulls the two of them in for brief hugs. Hey, how are you? Happy St. Patrick's Day, Rebecca says, giving Cris a peck on the cheek. Good. You guys look gorgeous, Cris smiles. Can I get you something to drink, Cris? I see Michelle's already helped herself to the liquor, Cara chuckled. Sure. I'll take a tall glass of water with some ice and lemon, Cris says, straying away from the alcohol for the night. Cara smiled. Coming right up. Michelle chuckles. Ha! You can't blame me. I couldn't help myself. Michelle raises up the ginger ale. It's all right. I know I seemed busy the second you came in here. I see you're looking at the cultural artifacts Rebecca brought. Aren't they cool? Cara asks, putting some ice into a glass. Oh, yes. They're gorgeous, Michelle smiles, holding up the ring to the light. Rebecca passes over the jewelry to Cris for her to look at. Wow, these are so interesting, Rebecca. Yes, I'm so glad I got a chance to find them all. They are all truly special to me, Rebecca smiled. As the girls chat and look at the artifacts, Jorge and Gionni come back into the living room and take some seats. Hey, girls, Gionni says, carrying a drink in his hand. You guys look hot with the green. He smirked. Just then, the doorbell rings, bringing more guests into the house. Carla, Carol, Susan, and Hillary all decided to carpool together. They show up at Cara's doorstep, all wearing different shades of green. Hillary and Susan were wearing matching outfits, sexy green dresses with a corset and a black miniskirt, paired with black heels and a green headband. Carla was wearing a scoop neck bodysuit, paired with a black tutu and black heels. Carol was wearing a green bandana top with high-waisted denim jeans, a headband with two green clover earrings, and yellow heels to complete her look.